Hey everyone, welcome back to Underhero Pacifist Run, where we're gonna start with some fighting. Because we don't have a choice. We have to fight the enemies in the arena. We can't talk to them, we can't bribe them. And with our stats as low as they are, it's gonna be pretty tough. But fortunately, this Mothy was a World 1 enemy, so I don't expect I'll have too much trouble. A couple encounters with World 1 enemies aren't too much of a problem. I could potentially parry, but my shield is almost broken, and I want to preserve what little durability it's got left. And another World 1 enemy, surprisingly. And for some reason, I just cannot get the timing right on these attacks. Fortunately, there's lots of health flying around, and these I can parry. That's easy. Alright, so go ahead and fill up. And Giant Snail, I absolutely need to parry this one. That was a little off. How am I so bad at this? That was rather interesting. My hit went right past its shield because it was still kind of floating around. Well, at the very least, the attacks are not all that hard to dodge, so I think I got this. But I got glued to the floor. Now I want to repair my shield because it is completely broken. And while I don't expect it'll be of much use against the gorilla, I still want to have it. Now I'm going to try the technique that I really wanted to do in the first go-round and just never got in a good capture. But there we go. Yeah, you just have to launch your slingshot pellet at the very, very highest possible angle. And it will land right inside the gorilla's butt crack every time, and cause it to turn around and forget what it was doing. I'm gonna let my stamina recharge a little bit first, and then go for it again. There is no limit to how often you can do this. So while it is a very slow method, as long as you don't run completely out of stamina and let it get off a full attack, you are completely safe. There is no risk to yourself in doing this method. Of course, I don't like doing things the safe way, and I keep taking the gamble on the timing. But it seems to be paying off okay. I'm definitely going to wait this one out. So anytime you're playing through with really low stats, that is a viable strategy. So on to the jungle that forms the bulk of this chapter, honestly. We have this Monkin who first told us that the pink fish were friendly and we should touch all of them. And now I get a level up. After most of the fighting that I'm ever going to do has been done. I don't know, the character I most associate with going fast doesn't really do well with underwater. So I kept in the whole jungle maze just because I'm still fascinated by it, and by my inability to navigate it properly no matter how many times I go through it. Alright, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing that spider said when I just talked to it before. So this time around, I am actually just going to make a beeline for the King Pepper. I remember that particular dinosaur skeleton there was very deceptive, and it isn't actually the way you're supposed to go. Here's the dead-end cave where the bat was guarding a meager treasure of about 2 coins. I'm going to give it several times that. And that is actually a pretty useful hint, in a manner of speaking. I mean, granted, if you've gotten this far, you already know what path to take. And the bones are still guiding you at this point. And everything else in this direction is just a dead end. But still, I don't know how helpful you would expect the enemies to be when you can't possibly get lost. Case in point, this one. They offered to show us the way if we bribed them before. So yeah, not a whole lot of use here. A purple pepper that we can't really do anything with, as far as I know. And the king pepper. And the path that I kept missing the first time through. And it's kinda neat how all the hints in this room kinda say, yeah, this is where the king pepper is, but you can't get there from here. Especially when you're back in this room, where it really is just on the other side of a locked gate that you can't get through. Level 4 is all just kinda one gigantic area where you can go round and round and collect a bunch of stuff. And there's the main loop of the room. So I'll just head up this way. Make sure not to miss the chest, because I still need a bunch of money. And the red pepper. These gorillas take a lot of money to bribe. Mostly leaving this in so you can see how the room would be navigated if you were to do it the right way, i.e., not the way that I ever did it. A well-earned health upgrade. And then this room, I think there was something over in the other side, but I've probably been there. And see, considering that there's no easy way to get there, I think that was a perfectly acceptable hint. I don't know, Elizabeth doesn't seem happy. But she never does. And hey, back in level 4, we just need to find another exit so we can go somewhere new. I really don't understand how the economy works in this game. Like, how much a coin is actually worth. Alright, I really don't know what I was thinking there. Let's try this again with slightly better aim. I mean, honestly, buying the hammer upgrade in one of the earlier chapters was probably a mistake. I should have gone for the slingshot one so I could have the actual aiming cursor. That would be useful. At this point, I'm just kind of afraid to spend that much money on something that's really an extravagance. No, that's back to the entrance. There's one big upgrade that I know I missed somewhere. And also this enemy, who is now a friend. See, I don't really mind when they just repeat the same thing they said earlier, when they are willing to acknowledge that all they're doing is repeating themselves. So, a nice simple dead ends that I skipped earlier that just had some money in it. I briefly go in the direction of the King Pepper again before remembering there is no other outlet from that area. And really, I just need to go up here. These guys. Again. Not dealing with them. But I have no idea why I was having so much difficulty swinging. This is going to go like all the other fights, isn't it? Alright, slight improvement. There we go. Got one of them slowed. Now it's just a matter of picking them off. Played for and got. Where am I going? Come back! Okay. Getting an upgrade while standing on a slope apparently has some weird side effects. And it's entirely possible that I missed something in there, but I don't care. On to the volcano, where there's a whole lot less of interest, but there are plenty of enemies. These fellas take a lot to bribe, too. Everybody here is so expensive. And that was just the same thing that one said when we talked to them, so... That may well be the best line of the game right there. Hey, guess what? There's no temptation to jump when you're bribing a snail. I mean, you don't have to move. Once I've bribed you, you are no longer an obstacle. I don't remember when it was that I first noticed that every time someone says El Salsarissimo there was that whip crack, but a lot of the humor in the game just goes right by you if you don't notice, and this Volcanoid is not going to do anything until I attack first. Okay, which was jump and which was duck? That's not the right way. It is not flipping over. Alright, now I can actually attack. And hopefully I've got enough attack power that I don't need to do this 3 times. Alright. I'm a very far cry from being able to finish them in 1 hit, but 2 works just fine. And then we got this room with nothing but a couple more of them to fight, and really, there's no purpose to doing it in regular speed, because it's all the same. They do give a lot of experience, though. I like the effect of this music sped up. You know, there's something about certain video game tunes that they almost seem like they were made to be played a lot faster than they are. It's really a formality at this point, but I don't see myself having any need for more stamina, and yeah, more health could be good. Yeah, this is the gorilla you can't fight using the slingshot trick, even if you were fighting your way through, because the ceiling will block your slingshot pellets. I like the way the dialogue box shook as the lava went up and down. That was pretty fun. What are you doing underwater, Geodude? Everyone knows that rock types are weak to water. I have to assume that was one of the backers from when this was on Kickstarter, and I had no idea that it was. I'm pretty sure the iguana from the bar in the castle, Mr. Bacon, was named after one of the backers. Then again, I may already have gone over all that and just completely forgotten that I did. I definitely want to bribe this guy before the escape sequence, because I don't want to have to do it while the timer's counting down. Not that there's any threat of running out of time, frankly. Alright, why was that so slow? Shouldn't be a problem. And then I get hit. Should be easy as long as I can time my jumps to hit the ceiling properly, and boom. Yeah, there's really nothing particularly interesting about the El Salsarissimo fight either. It's just a matter of dodging all the attacks until the rope comes down. Drop some peppers into his mouth. Although apparently, the potions that fall from the ceiling here don't respect your potion limit, or at least didn't in one of the earlier published versions of the game. As far as I remember, like, I heal if I'm at full HP and I pick up one of the falling potions. Or rather, if I, you know, have full potions and it just converts to HP. But somebody on the Underhero Discord kept saying, oh, you know, this is the place where if you get over your potion limit, you can just have extra potions. And that's the El Salsarissimo fight. And the escape sequence. Done with a tiny shred of competence. And I'd say there really isn't anything much of interest from this point in the rest of the chapter, but last time I was here, Puzzle Man didn't give me credit for answering one of the questions correctly as far as I'm concerned. So we'll try it his way this time. Also because I want all of the money. Okay, why does Puzzle Man say Don Salsarissimo works with stitches? Because he's afraid of stitches. I still say the other three are all more correct. Although that's an interesting preview of some of the stuff that we would learn in Chapter 5. And the rest of it is just surfing, which doesn't change at all for pacifism, so I'll just grab the sword upgrade, and I'll see all of you next time for the Chapter 4 video.